modern business is increasingly moving out of the office and being conducted wherever people are. The trend is enabled by the power of today's mobile devices, which are now swiftly approaching traditional desktop systems. But the pace of innovation in the mobile space is dizzyingly fast, which makes it hard for enterprises to know which device is best suited to them. I met with Stuart Dommett, business IT evangelist at Intel, who discussed the array of endpoints available on the market today and the innovation around the products within the business.
So there's been rapid innovation around the endpoint in recent years. Could you talk us through some of the options that are now available to companies?
At the moment we're seeing great innovation in devices across the board. If you look at the whole compute continuum, all the way from the desktop and the traditional desktop today, thin clients that were also have been prevalent in the industry for a number of years now. What we're starting to see is rich, very high compute capability desktops that are now in a very similar thermal window as a thin client, so that from a cost savings, power usage and things like this, very much able to compete, but it has the flexibility of being able to do act as a full PC or act as a thin client or something in between. And with some of the new compute models that are out there today with virtualization, whether that's centralized or local, you can have the best of both worlds. So from a desktop, we're seeing a lot of innovation there. Also consider touchscreen on a desktop, all-in-ones. Those are starting to take off, and we're seeing a lot more innovation around the look and feel of those devices, availability of those type of devices, both in the home and also in business.
So, how do businesses adopt these devices, and more importantly, how do they decide which to support? I met with Adrian Simpson, UK CTO at SAP, who showed me around the in-house mobility centre, a resource designed to allow employees to try out devices to find which best suits their needs.
So what devices do you support here at SAP?
So we started our journey probably with RIM devices, and BlackBerry was the predominant device of choice for people. When we started the journey, it was probably there for email access and email and phone. They were the two main use cases, and BlackBerry devices were perfect for that. What we then saw, and we were kind of like a little bit slow on the uptake of this, is actually when the iPhone got released, it was like we kind of dismissed it as a consumer device, and where was the business case for using it in the enterprise? But actually what happened is that as soon as the content started coming with it, people start to realize that this is a device that can be used in business, day-to-day work, and actually very productive device. So very quickly we started rolling out the iPhone devices, and currently on the BlackBerries we're probably around about 22,000 BlackBerry devices that are still being used, but the iPhones are fast coming up on that, and there's probably about 13,000 iPhones within the organisation. And then when the iPad came out, suddenly we're now talking about a huge screen footprint, so you can do a lot more content on there. And that's something that we've really adopted very strongly within SAP for different types of uses. So execs can get their analysis reports and get good dashboard and reporting and drill down capability. Salespeople can get full access to their pipeline, to all of their account information, to the leads and to contacts within customers. And then within development, people are using it as a platform for developing the next generation of user interfaces for applications.
So Microsoft has recently released Surface, its own tablet device. Do you see that disrupting the market?
So we've already started looking at what Windows are doing for mobile side of things. We've got some trial devices within the organisation. At this stage it is really a trial side of things. I think we're kind of like, we're going to watch this space and see what happens. I think if we look at Microsoft's history, they own the desktop. They've tried to get onto the mobile platform in the past without too much success. This is going to be really interesting to see if this time they get it right and the adoption accelerates. And if it does, we'll certainly be absolutely fully supporting it for our staff.
And with the recent release of Windows 8, competition between operating systems is ever increasing. So how will this affect the mobile business market?
The operating systems that are out in business today, there are three distinct main runners, whether that's Android, iOS or Windows. They'll coexist because the devices are coming into an enterprise market. So yes, they will coexist, but it's around how you manage them and the hooks that are in them that make them usable for business IT. So the security hooks, the management hooks, how do I land apps and service and data down to these employees whilst may not own that operating system. I think a lot of businesses are very much excited about Windows 8. They're excited about it from the new form factors that are coming out, and the ability of taking the benefits of new form factors and meeting consumerization head on, but are doing it with the ability to integrate it with their standard applications and services and framework that they use today. Business IT is still a mainstay, is Windows and Microsoft, and will continue to have that investment, and we'll need to utilise it.
With the introduction of new devices such as convertibles, will we be seeing a one-size-fits-all device appearing in the near future?
Many employees today tend to carry around 2 devices, which is obviously not great from a user experience point of view, also not great from an IT manager's point of view. He's got to manage 2 devices, and obviously security is a big concern nowadays. Obviously going to a convertible means from a user experience, they have 1 product. They can use it in conventional notebook mode, or use it in stand mode or tent, which would allow them to use it in confined spaces such as in a plane or on a train. And obviously if they want to do a presentation, tent mode allows them to look at the presentation in a confined space on a one-to-one basis. So the convertible products, by their size and their nature, are really designed for people on the move. It's got a relatively small screen at 12.5 inches, so it's perfect for people who are traveling. So it's not really designed for graphics-hungry CAD type applications. It does have the power to run graphic applications, but really it's not the market that it's designed for.
So the trend we're seeing is towards devices that support the always-on employee. As devices evolve, it appears so too does the role of the user. Whilst working from the office is still an essential part of building a successful business culture with the emergence of ever-increasingly powerful and versatile mobile devices into the workplace, the employee is given the option of taking the office with them as they travel. And with companies now embracing the app market, mobile devices now offer the ability to adapt to the environment that they're in. So, an important question emerges. Is the desktop dead? With mobile devices now providing flexibility as well as power, will static work machines become a tool of the pre-iCulture era?
No, desktops aren't dead. They're still a mainstay of an organisation's capability. What we'll start to see is new compute models around desktops. We'll see new form factors, thinner, smaller devices, consume less power, but new compute capabilities that use that power in the right way. You know, computing everything in a data center or in a cloud is not always the best thing. So the device still matters, and the desktop still matters in that world.
And there's still definitely the role for the desktop within an organisation for the types of things where you're a power user within a system, or you're doing a lot of manipulation of data. Then a mobile device isn't so adept at those kind of functions.
So this trend towards mobile devices offers modern workers the flexibility to be wherever their business takes them, with the availability of the full traditional office suite getting close to reality every day. Whilst there is an inevitable cost in supporting an increasingly diverse endpoint ecosystem, most businesses find that this is well offset by the productivity gains.